Hello, everyone. Ken here from Neon Goldfish. Website traffic is the fuel that makes the car go. The more relevant website traffic we can create, the more leads we can generate, leading to more new business. Generating website traffic requires activity. You cannot be stagnant and gain more attention. So what can you do to create more website traffic? Where should you spend your time? In this episode of the Neon Noise podcast, we cover 13 actionable ways you can generate more traffic to your website. We're not suggesting that you need to employ all 13 of these to be successful. Take the couple you feel align best with your buyer personas, your comfort levels, the time you have available, and of course budget, and run with them. We hope our conversation will help you learn a couple new ways that you can generate more traffic to your website. Enjoy.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Neon Noise Podcast. This is Justin and Ken. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day today. It's the new year. Ken, it's 2017. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I was thinking the other day, this is going to be in June, the 10-year anniversary of us starting Neon Goldfish, which is kind of
10
exciting.
years of NGF for all you
whole
folks.
Decade. I know. That's
It flew by.
That's unreal. It
flew
did.
by.
Quick 10 years. I hope that the next 10 go a little slower, right? They seems like things get quicker these days when we get older, but that's all fun. We're having fun.
Kidding.
That's what's the fun. The fun times are accelerating things, right?
Right. You are correct. So, New Year, right? What do we think about when we hear New Year?
We think about turning the page, starting fresh, doing new things, implementing,
doing
exercising,
stuff.
right?
Trying to lose some weight.
Sure, yeah.
Make more money.
Make more money.
Read more books.
Get more.
Learn more about whatever, right? So
yeah, what's on your list this year, Justin, for 2017?
Pretty much everything that I just said. Lose weight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Change my diet.
Eat healthy, right?
Eat healthy, I guess. I mean, it's cool because it's always something you talk about in January, and you try to act on it in February, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully I stay with it and do my New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, I actually kind of threw out the idea of resolutions this year because I think that they're kind of bullshit. So
right.
I decided to, because we all quit our resolutions after so long, right?
Yeah,
we don't all, but the likelihood that you follow through on a resolution is not as good, right?
So you scrap the whole thing. You're just saying, I just said, I'm done. I'm not doing anything. All right, man.
I decided to do a series of experiments, rather. So with goals in mind, and
cool.
Yeah, so
cool. Like
health-wise, I'm doing this 12-week challenge, just a weight loss type challenge. It ends in April 9th.
Ends in April? All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to track this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's actually
put yourself out there, man, because you know what? Accountability is it. And if you put it out here, we're all going to be looking on April. What'd you say? April 9th?
April 9th, yes.
April 9th is the number. All right. So what are the goals?
In April. The goals, my goal is one, to complete the challenge, because I think that itself is a feat. You laugh, but that I think is a feat in itself, is actually going through all 12 weeks. I mean, I look at a 52-week resolution, which is a normal New Year's resolution, and saying, all right, I'm going to be good all year long. Well, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to give myself a small win and say, I'm going to work out and eat clean for 12 weeks and see what type of results I come through, right?
All right.
And we'll see. I mean, weight wise, I don't know how much weight I'm going to lose. I'm going to do my best. I think that I could drop.
I love the goal.
Pounds. I could drop 30 pounds, right?
I think it's
awesome. And then my second experiment that I'm going to do, and this one I'm more nervous about throwing out there to the public than others, but I'm gonna run in October. I'm gonna run the Detroit Half Marathon.
Ooh.
Yeah, 13.1 miles. So
13.1 miles.
I'm going to start training for that immediately after this 12-week challenge is over. I figured maybe if I got rid of a couple spare tires, make the running training a little easier. So
nice. I like
But
it.
enough about us. Enough about
I like it.
what we have going on. Let's talk about our listeners and
Our
what
listeners.
they have, what
Okay.
they want to hear. So, ideally, yeah, New Year means that
Change.
we have change on the horizon. We want to look at new things, and we thought maybe one great topic would just be coming up with ways to drive traffic to your website. I think we have 13 of them today. We're going to discuss.
13
Does that sound
ways.
right?
Yeah, it sounds about
Beautiful.
right. So,
Awesome. So let's get started. We're basically going to touch on these. We're not going to dive super deep because most of these are, we're not going to be presenting you with something you've never heard of, but these are things that you are cognitive of. But we'll talk about the ways in which they can help drive traffic to your website. And
Right.
traffic is that first step of getting customers, is getting more people that don't know who you are, or maybe people that do already know who you are,
Yep.
our current customers, back to your website to learn more about what you're doing, trying to get them through that buyer cycle again, or that
Right.
buyer's journey, right?
right.
So what do we have on the plate for number one, Justin?
All right. So number one, Ken, would be blogging. If you're not already doing this, this is probably, I don't know, wouldn't you say this is probably one of the easiest ways to start driving new traffic to your site, simply by
Absolutely.
getting out there and start, figuring out what your customers are looking for, and, develop your content around that. It's not that difficult. Talk to your sales reps and just say, hey, what are people asking about? And, go back and, if you're not already creating that copy, then look at it and say, all right, this might be an opportunity for us to get some additional exposure to our site.
Yeah, I mean, answer the questions that the customers are asking the most. That's the easiest, lowest hanging fruit for
Yeah.
blog copy. Blogs are great tools for driving traffic. Why? The search engines, they love new content, and blogging is the most natural, easiest way to add new, fresh content to your website.
Right.
Outside of rewriting your company history every day, right? Which is
Yep.
never going to happen.
Yep.
So we want to write good quality content. It can't, it's got to go past the idea of just any copy. Obviously, we want to make these posts that we publish engaging and answering questions
Right.
that our target audience is looking for
Mhm.
to be answered. But yeah, the blog is a real easy way. It's a low barrier of entry. Most websites these days, I would say most have some type of blogging component already built into them. If yours isn't active, talk to your web developer and have them activate it.
Right.
But talk about questions your customers ask. Talk about industry news. It positions you as a thought leader as well. Adds credibility,
Yep.
so that you're going to be seen as the expert. And there's nothing better than getting into a competitive situation with a prospect and pointing them towards some resources you created that your competitor likely lacks, and it just really makes the difference.
Yep.
All in all. But from the traffic standpoint, you're going to attract more traffic by writing blog posts, answering customer questions, or talking about industry related items.
Yeah.
Because the search engines are going to pick that up and index it. And that's probably going to have a more compounding effect than just that.
Right. 100% agree with you. What about writing kick-ass headlines for those blog posts? That's a big one. Give readers you got to give those readers a reason to click on your headline. Don't be the same as everybody else. You just have to step out of the box and, look at your competition, look at what your competition's doing, and figure out ways to want to engage that person and get them past that first step, which is what they see. They see the headline and that's all they see. So they have to want to be able to click on it.
Yeah. And what we're kind of honing in on here with, as far as the headline, the blog topic or the blog title is typically the page title that shows up in the search engines as well. And so whenever someone conducts a search on their favorite search engine, they are delivered a search engine results page, or a SERP. And we've all seen them. We got lists of results that have a large link at the very top, and then a description below, and then the URL. We're talking about that link, that main page title there. We're competing for clicks on this page. So let's assume at this point that we've done our duty in getting positioned on page one, near the top, at the top, number one. But we're now in competition with
everybody else.
Everybody else on that page. Who's going to get the click? And so this kick-ass headline we're talking about is going to be that convincing, enticing, engaging hook that gets someone saying, hey, that seems to fit what I'm looking for, and it looks like I want to invest time in it. I'm going to click on it. And, there's a lot that goes into getting that click. And, user engagement, something that Google is using now to even for their indexing for search signals. And so the more you can get those people to click on your link and then ultimately stay on your site for some duration, the better you're going to position. So take time and invest in writing a great headline or a page title.
Yeah.
Because that's going to get you that extra traffic, basically just through added click-throughs off the SERPs, wherever you're showing up.
Right. You, my friend, are correct. What about paid ads?
Yeah. Paid search is number 3 on our list.
Paid search is number 3. I mean, anytime that you can have an ad, which you can create in probably about 10 minutes, have it running in front of your targeted audience in probably about 20 minutes, which is usually the amount of time that it takes to get your ads approved. As long as you have a budget, you can have your information being presented to your visitors within a matter of a half an hour. I don't think that there's really any other way that you can do that with any other copy that you're going to create aside from a paid listing. Just do me one favor. When you are creating these, I see this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that individuals make is they create their ads and they're running these ads and they're sending them directly to a homepage as opposed to a landing page that you create with, your offer, whatever it is that you've got the ad set up for. Send them to that landing page, in order to try to get those folks to convert and, eventually get into your funnel.
Yeah, that's one thing there. And so you made mention of getting 20 minutes up and running. And so what you're talking about there with the landing page, that'd be a little bit extra time on the front end. But
yeah, a little bit of extra time.
Get the campaign going on the platform that you want. Yes. There is, it's immediate to nearly immediate, but it's very controllable traffic as well. And you did make mention, this one does require a budget. You need to spend some money, and what your budget is, figure it out. Give the campaign a chance to work and measure it and visit it often, though, because there's some fine tuning that'll go into this. But you can find some diamonds in the rough as far as keywords that are low costs that do deliver visitors and conversions. And once you find that, ride that wave as long as you possibly can, because whether it's on Google AdWords or if it's on Facebook or any other paid platform, there's only a matter of time before the competition continues to increase. And that's going to drive costs up. But if you can find a sweet spot where your marketing acquisition cost is awesome and you're able to generate those leads, AdWords or paid search is a great option for driving website traffic. Next on the list, we have one of my favorites, which is interview influencers or thought leaders in your industry. And so unless you're already at the top of the mountain looking down on everyone else, there are likely others in your industry that are more known, more recognized, you seek, or maybe you are an unknown. They are an unknown mentor to you. You follow them and learn from them. Getting them on the phone, sitting down for a cup of coffee, getting them on a podcast recording, meeting them at a conference, videotaping, whatever it might be. Reach out to them and see if they would be interested in allowing you to interview them. And where this comes in great is you're now taking someone who is known, who is searched for on the search engines, likely.
Right.
And you are having a one-on-one conversation that you are going to position on your website through a blog post or on your YouTube channel, which in turn you'd put that video on your website. But you're having content, unique content being created by this industry influencer, positioned by you, which makes you look great, and let them do the talking. Prepare great questions, let them do the talking. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour segment. It could just be a 5-minute clip that you ask them the two of the most burning questions your customers have and that they would be able to answer with a complete attention from everyone else, right?
They're likely going to probably share that information out with their audience as well, too.
Oh, that's the hidden gem here. Yeah. No, they have an audience that's much larger than yours, likely. Sure. And what you just said is spot on. That's the bonus in all this, is getting them. They may not, but likely if they're, hey, I was featured. Everyone likes to be flattered or likes to promote their, especially an influencer or thought leader. They're going to take advantage of that piece of content and promote it out, and you're going to receive the added value of viewership from their audience, which is awesome.
Yeah. Number 5 is guest blogging. Just take the time to do some research and, see what, go and see what's showing up on the search engines currently and, take a look and see, okay, we've got, X, Y, and Z topics that nobody's talking about. Maybe, reach out to that individual and see, if there's potential for you to go on there and write about, whatever that copy is that they could be missing on their site.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's a great tactic. It's very close to
kind of similar to the
interview, correct? Yeah. But what you're doing now is your content's being positioned on their website. And people scratch their head when you say this, like guest blog on somebody else's website. Okay, why am I going to create content on somebody else's website? Well, you get your name out in front of a huge audience. Again, we're leveraging exposure, or trying to gain exposure to their audience, right? And also, typically, you get to link back to your site where that comes in handy. Right? Yeah, backlinks are something that are helpful in search engine optimization. They're highly coveted, and if it's coming from an industry influencer, it's probably going to carry a little bit of extra weight than if you got a backlink from your Aunt Edna's knitting blog, right? So,
hey, Aunt Edna, she might have a huge list. You never know.
She could.
There's a lot of knitters out there.
I'm not dogging any knitters either. Knitting's hard, I'm sure. But at any rate, guest blogging, it always helps when you go into a guest blogging situation where you're trying to pitch someone the idea of being a guest blogger on their platform. Have a couple pieces of copy ready to go. Probably your most visited blog posts. Yeah. Just a little bit of a brag sheet and put it out there. That gives them an idea what you can do and what type of content you're going to produce before they say yes.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so how about on-page optimization? Let's make sure that this is something that I think that people overlook a little bit, but just having the topics and the keywords and everything that you're trying to focus on positioned in your title tags, and making sure that you're using images on those pages and alt tags, and your copy and content is all focused around whatever those terms are that you're trying to optimize for.
Yeah, on-page optimization's low-hanging fruit as far as SEO goes. So going through, if you can't do it yourself, talk to your web developer and do a check down, but each page should have unique page
Don't we have a
descriptions.
checklist for that we could probably publish in the notes?
We will include that checklist on page optimization.
Yeah.
That way you can double check what needs to be done, or go over that list of to-dos with your web developer and make sure you're not missing anything there. But yeah, it's if you properly let the search engines know specifically what your pages are about, that's really just going to help you with indexing and showing up, which is going to drive more traffic. The better positioning you can get in search engines is a no-brainer, and where traffic can come from. So
super low-hanging fruit, easy to do. Check out the checklist. Remarkable piece of content. We talked a little bit about remarkable content and the advantages of creating remarkable content. Take some time and come up with something that is going to be valuable for your users, right?
Yes. For those that didn't listen, episode number 7 covers remarkable content into some great depth, and also even goes how to even research and create a piece of remarkable content. So check that episode out if you want more detail. But yeah, if you create a remarkable piece of content and promote it, your customer base or people that find you, they find value in that, they're going to share that and link to it, which shares and links lead to traffic. You're going to get more search engine visibility from the links. You'll get visits by people clicking on those links. Being shared on different social media platforms will obviously put you in front of more eyeballs. So the fact that the content you're creating is remarkable makes it better than anything else out there. Correct. So go out of your way, spend some time making
10x that content.
You got it.
All right. This is a big one that I think that not everyone, but majority of people that we talk to, they miss. Email your database. You have a database that you built, and you worked so hard to get all these people into it, and then it just sits there, and nobody does anything with it.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways that you can get in front of people by, you want to create additional traffic to your site. Just get in front of your customers. I mean, whether it's a new offer or a new blog post, just anything that you have, this new piece of content that you can put out in front of those folks. Anytime that you do that, your traffic's going to spike. And I think that this is a big one that quite a few people miss out on. They've got, thousands of people that are sitting there in this list that are just waiting to be talked to. How often do you see that, Ken?
A lot in email marketing, emails out to your CRM or your database is by far my most favorite thing, right? Because we're not fishing for
those are people that already know you.
They already know you. They
already want your information. You're just not giving it to them, right?
Well, yeah, we're stating all this under the
assumption that you have a clean list too. By the way,
yes, it's not a purchase list, right?
Right.
So let's get that out of the way.
Sorry.
Nope. It's important. Purchase lists work a little bit different than opted-in lists or lists of your previous customers or those that you've interacted with. But yes, these are individuals you've already had some type of interaction. You've built some type of rapport, and they likely want to hear from you. And if they don't, they'll unsubscribe, right? But no, this is that low-hanging fruit. So every time you put out a piece of content, every time you post a blog, publish a blog, or
give it to your people.
Exactly. Now, obviously if you're publishing daily, then batch those into maybe a weekly or bi-weekly. But what we're trying to state here, though, is leverage those individuals that you've already had an encounter with, that you've likely impressed or satisfied through your business interactions. So,
that's a big
email
one.
Database, leverage it. Big one.
Number 8, or was that number 8? Number 9. Just participate in conversations. Kind of goes back to the same, same thing we talked about with interviewing influencers in your industry. Is just, make sure that, you're communicating with people about what you do. And I see this a lot with, on forums and stuff along those lines where, you've got individuals that are asking questions about specific things that maybe you guys do, and participate in those conversations, get involved and provide feedback. And, you are now the industry, expert, and that's going to drive additional traffic back to your site.
Absolutely. In your participation of these forums, be helpful. Don't always
it can't be all
pitching.
Salesy, but
Correct.
Right. 100%.
You can sell though, but there's this cloud or credibility that you need to establish a little bit before you can begin to pitch, right? And so we have one particular client who is very active on one of his industry forums, and it's amazing. He will speak nothing but great things about the benefits he's received to his business by his simple activity of just answering questions and being helpful. He's been recognized as on the forum. People are like, "Oh, that's great." I remember you from answering that question. It passively drives traffic to the website. He's looked at as an industry leader. He's now a speaker at a lot of conferences because people recognize and see this. But
90% of his conversations are helpful, though. He's not promoting the business.
Yes, and that makes a difference. He's truly doing it because he enjoys helping others, and indirectly he receives traffic.
I don't think that honestly, I don't think that he spends probably more than a couple 2-3 hours a week doing that.
Yeah, nominal. You get into it becomes part of your routine. You're gonna go in there, log in, see what questions are being asked, which ones you feel
the questions.
Exactly. But it's the conversations, to participate in, it'd be kind of similar to if you were at a barbecue and there was a group of people in a circle and talking about your industry.
Yep.
And you walked up, would you not say anything, or would you pipe in? Obviously you're going to pipe in because you know likely more than they do about what you do. And so same type of thing. People are on these forums. Blog posts, their comments are being made on each blog post. Comment on blog posts, even if it's a suggestion or an answer to the question. Maybe you can note a praise for the author and just participate. Be present and make some noise. Good noise. Make some noise.
Yep. Cool. All right. Another one that I see often missed is share everything that you create on social media. There's, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Obviously, every, your target audience is going to be different on different social media platforms, but you're going to be able to go in there and say, okay, these are the platforms that I want to be active on. Just share your content. You worked so hard to put this together, and all these platforms are all just different avenues to get people back to your website. So take advantage of that and share your copy.
Yeah, leverage everything that you can. Get it out there. You have eyeballs waiting to see, and people are searching, looking for things on those platforms as well. So it's not only going to be in front of the eyeballs that you already have in your audience, but also potential new ones.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Video is huge, and it's going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger in 2017. What are your thoughts on shooting video, Ken?
Video is it. You just nailed it. It's getting huge. It is gaining steam. It's not going away. You look at some of these social media platforms like Facebook with Facebook Live and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter. All these platforms are positioned for video, and we're going to see more and more video. My Facebook feed's riddled with videos upon videos more so than just regular photos. And this makes sense because as consumers, we'd rather consume a video
It's easier
than we would a photo and reading. It's our time. I mean,
you can
if
watch
you look at a
4-minute video, right? 2-minute, 4-minute video, and consume so much more than you're going to have to read, 3-4 pages of information. I'd rather watch the video, right?
Yes. The only complaint I ever hear from anyone about videos versus text is the people that like to scan. I can't scan a video. No, you can't.
Sure.
But you can consume a lot more. A lot of times the videos are not visually a necessity for it to be watched. So I'll click on a video and just listen to the thing while I'm doing other work.
Yeah.
And listen just to the audio, right? So if it's someone that's speaking at a conference, a TED Talk, right? I don't need to see the person on stage with the microphone. I'll throw the TED Talk on and let the audio play in my headphones while I'm jamming on some emails or whatever it might be. But the video itself is getting bigger and bigger. In shooting video has never been easier. Well, I say everyone, but we all likely have a smartphone within 3 feet of ourselves right now.
Everyone has a video camera in front of them.
Exactly. You have a video camera on that. You don't need a $1,500 camera with a tripod and lighting and a microphone boom and a sound engineer to do this. Was that nice? Yes. Will that produce better video? Absolutely. But the thing is
it's the message.
There's no need for that. It's the message. It's just getting it out there. So shoot video and screw it up and do it again and screw it up.
Just do it again and just
do it again. Yes. And get it out there. Talk about same things you would in your blog post. Take your last blog post
and do a video on
and
it.
Talk about it on a video.
Yeah.
Simple. You already have the content there, created, spelled out. Go for
that
it.
On YouTube.
Exactly.
Awesome. We need to shoot more video.
You are right. We do.
We need to shoot more video.
We're going to shoot more
Hey, that's
video.
going to be all right. So that's a resolution for us. We're shooting some more video this year.
Can we call it
that?
An experiment?
Bingo.
Can we call it an experiment instead of a resolution?
Let's call it an experiment. Because
all right. Perfect.
All right. Number 12 is host a webinar. If you haven't hosted a webinar yet, that's a great way to get in front of a handful of people. And, you can be driving those individuals back to your website. You can be sending them to the videos that you just created. There's all kinds of opportunity for webinars, right?
Oh, for sure. And platforms to host webinars are
tons,
simple, easy to use.
Yep.
So you're going to have some promotion, getting people gathered for your online event. And you'll likely have a slideshow or some type of presentation that takes them through some type of educational item. Maybe it's showcasing how you did X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And all those participants, likely you'll gather their email addresses, which allows you to communicate with them further. But as you mentioned, Justin, for the purpose of driving traffic to your website, you're getting your brand in you yourself out in front of them. And through the webinar itself, have some added value, some content pieces that you can position via links in the slide deck that you send to them after it's over, with some follow-up items that they would retrieve from your website. And then obviously once they're on your website, they likely can be look around and see what else that you do. But in the same sense, you'll also have that email address, which can provide follow-up messages to them, all with links back to your website. So you're gaining their interests through the event topic, the education, the giveaway, the freebie of teaching them how to do something, and then in return you're getting the email address and giving them some links to your website,
which is our goal. Number one goal when it comes to that, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Number 13. Hang out with your buddy on Wednesday and create a podcast.
That's right.
We did it. So can you.
We did it. That's right. Do what we did. Start a podcast. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. We have a blast doing this. And it's really easy just to hit the record button and
just talk.
And start talking. I mean, Justin and I, we are far from the professional top level podcasting that you're going to get from some of the more polished venues, but we like that because I don't know, this is the way we are. So
right.
if you're listening to this and you haven't ran away yet, you got this far in the podcast, likely you don't hate us, which is good.
I love it.
But yeah, it's so easy to hit the record button and just start talking about what you do, and the barriers of entry are minimal. There's some equipment costs, not a lot. There's actually lots of software platforms out there that make the actual recording and editing pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
It just provides, like video, it provides your
just another
customers
channel.
Just another channel to consume your content. So
yep.
Take the blog post that you just wrote, that you just shot a video on, and also talk about that in a podcast. Right, because different people like to consume content in different formats. I listen to a ridiculous amount of podcasts, and now I'm starting to listen to history podcasts, so I don't know where I'm headed, but it used to just be business related items, and now I'm listening to stories and history stuff, and there's this one on the Genghis Khan that I'm looking forward to listening to. Why? I don't know, but it's better than listening to the same songs that read
right?
over and over. Exactly.
There you go.
But in the podcast, you're going to have a set of show notes, much like we do, where it'll contain valuable links or links to things that are referenced during the podcast, and that drives traffic back to your website. So
awesome stuff. Well, that's 13 items. I think that we could probably come up with a list of another 50 relatively easily.
But that's a great start for 2017, right?
Yeah, that's an awesome start. I think that hopefully you guys, took a little bit away from that today. We're going to put the show notes up for our on-page optimization white paper. And what else do we got, Ken? Anything?
No.
Nothing. All right.
No.
We don't have anything else. So, all right, guys. We just went over 13 items that will drive additional traffic to your website in 2017. Hopefully you guys all get a little bit of takeaway from each one of those items. Until next time, this is Justin and Ken with Neon Noise. You can check out the show notes for today's episode at www.neongoldfish.com/podcast. Make it a great day. We'll see you next time.